As an African, I would want to advise you to listen to Pan African's leaders. It's very important to your growth, to your mental growth as an African. You know, one person that inspires me is PLO Lumumba, Patrick Lodge Otieno Lumumba from Kenya. That man message is inspiring and tells you exactly what we are doing and what our leaders are doing in Africa. It's a pity to see myself, even I'm out of my country, but if I still recap, the situation that we are faced with in Africa, if I still retrospect on those things that are still taking us backward, I've come to realize that we are the cause of our problem. Of course, we are the cause of our problem. Africans are the cause of their problem. Even though other people participated in it, but we are the cause of our problem. Every black man is the cause of Africa backwardness because we are being used, we are being manipulated to do things outside the box. Everyone want to be that person. Everyone want to be the face of everything. That's not how life should be. That's not how life should be. You have to know that everyone has their calling. If this thing does not fit you, it fits another person. We don't have the same size. We all have legs, but we don't wear the same size. We all have body, but we don't put on the same size of clothes. That is to say that if this thing does not fit you, do not go for it. If this thing does not go with you, do not go on doing it. Do not agree to it because it does not suit you. But African, we don't look at that. We only look at, yes, I want to do this because I see people doing it. When you come to politics, everybody wants to be there only for one thing, for their own selfish gain. Everybody want to hold public position before they can contribute to society. Everybody want to be senator, everybody want to be speaker, everybody want to be in the House of Parliament before they can contribute to society. As an African, I want to urge every African to start thinking. Let us start to put on that thinking cap. When we were coming up, all we think is traveling out of your country, like Africa, is the best way. That if you leave Africa, you have made it in life. I want to advise you that is not all to it. Of course, you're going to get your daily bread. You're going to have something in your pocket. But not everyone is lucky. There are so many people who are out here who don't even have the cup of water to drink by themselves. They have to ask people. There are so many Africans out here who cannot afford a common bread to eat. They cannot afford money to buy a bread to eat. Bread. In Africa, if you don't have food, you will see your friends, your group of boys will be eating. You will come and join them. They will call you, my man, let's come eat. It happened. But likewise, out of Africa, I am not lying to you. To see such people, you guys should have relationship. If you don't have relationship with that person, if you don't know that person, definitely it's impossible. Somebody don't even see you. Even the common thing said for somebody to just see you and you ask, please help me with this, for them to just give it to you, it's difficult because this person will first convert to their currency. Sometimes this person does not convert, the person will think, How many things this money can do for them here? So it's difficult. So many of our friends today, they are in the streets. The money that we they use, the struggle, the time, the effort they apply. I think if we are taking that effort to push forward in our life back home, I think we can make the progress, we can make the difference. We can do it. Africans, we can do it. We can make the difference. If everyone leave home, who will be there to build home? Who will be there to make the difference? If we keep running away from our homes, check in Africa today, how many whites you see around us? They are few, and most of them that are there, we cherish them, we respect them so much compared to how we are treated when we come over. It's because of what other people who came before them, what they established, what they did. That's why we always respect these people. But if you travel out of Africa, you are nothing. As an African, as a black man, you are nothing. But if a white man traveled from his country and go to Africa, he's cherished, he's respected. We accept him, we accept her, we accept them, but not like that. Out here, we are looked down upon on so many occasions. We don't have that respect because they feel that we have come to reap from what we did not sow. We have come to take their possessions. That's the mentality. That's what they keep despising us. They keep showing the difference. That is to tell us that we do not belong here. If an African is here on a business deal, he's respected. But if you are here in such a job, you are looked down upon. They don't look at you. They don't even value you to give you a job that you are qualified for. You will see a person who have a degree working at a car park. A person who have a degree in business management working as a security officer. You will see a person who is well educated, capable of teaching, being a janitor at a school. There are countries in Africa that need teachers, qualified teachers like you. There are countries in Africa that need qualified doctors like you. But because of what is happening, because of the leaders that we have, we can make a difference. We don't have to depend on the leaders always. Typical example, if you are a police officer and you are on the traffic, directing traffic, and this person violate the law as a police officer, what should you do? It is advisable for you to take bribe from that person on the scene, for you to take bribe from that person and cover up. What will make the difference? How will that person change from that attitude? Yeah, you take the bribe from them, you put in your pocket. At that cheap thing, how much is that money that the person is going to give you, or that the person is giving you? How much is this money? As low as anything. When they give it to you, you will let that person be. But if you will hold that person, arrest them, take them to the nearest police station or to your duty post where you are assigned, the duty area that you are, the place you are assigned for duty. If you take this person there for investigation, why should you drive in such a manner? Or why should you not put this thing on while you are driving? Or why should you not do this while you are on the road? Or why should you violate the traffic rules? This person will tell his friend, this is what will happen if you violate this rule. This is what will happen. People believe in actions. Action tells. So your actions towards any situation. We either increase or decrease. We either improve or decline. So if you set example on one person, two person, three persons, and every other officer follow that first step, you think the government will not generate revenue on these people who keep violating laws, who keep violating rules and regulations? You think the government will not be able to generate revenue to pay you as a police officer and give you a better life and put you in a better place to live? Where I am, the citizens of this country do not own house on their own. Government provide it for them, and after some years it becomes their personal property. When I say they don't own house, like they don't take their money and just buy a house. Government provide it. After some times, if you stay in the house, when you are working as an officer or as a civilian, if you are working as a civilian, the government take portion of your salary to pay for this house that they build for you. But you won't know that your salary is being used for this house you are living in. How did that come to pass? It's because of the foundation others set. It's because of the sacrifices other people set. You don't mind the little thing today and forget about tomorrow. You don't mind what you're going to eat today and forget about why your generation will eat tomorrow. We have to be conscious of these things, Africa. We have to know these things, Africans. It pains me to see that all our brothers are trying everything possible to leave our country, to leave our continent, Africa. Some are even taking the risks to get on board, to get, overseas. You know what it means to cross the Mediterranean Sea, the oceans? You know how painful it is if you lost your life. You know what you could have done with your life if you leave back, if you had stayed back home without taking that risk of traveling through that means. It's quite okay if you manage to travel through air. It's okay. I would say this, somebody would tell me, oh, what are you doing where you are? If you think that, oh yes, Africa is that good, why couldn't you stay back home? It's because of ignorance, lack of ignorance. But I want to encourage you as a person, if you are out of Africa for study, I want you to take your lessons serious. After your study, you go back home. Likewise, I myself, we all need to start thinking that we can make the difference, that we can make things happen in our dear continent, in our dear countries. We can make this happen. We don't need rocket scientists to change things for all. The United States, the Great Britain, they were not built by angels. They were built by their own people. They were built by human beings like you and myself. We were the one they enslaved. We were the one that they carried into slavery. We were the one who did all those hard labor. Now that we don't have guns on our head, why can't we do the same thing for ourselves? Today, a lot of African countries don't produce their own food, don't make their own food. We don't produce what we eat. We said that they take us into slavery. We said that the people took us into slavery for all to make their farm, for all to do things for them. Why can't we make farm for ourselves? Why can't we invest into agriculture? Why can't we go on farm and do work? All we think is that once you get in school, you graduate and get a degree, everything is okay. Before that can happen, there have to be people who will do the farming, who will make the food and create means for people who have the idea in the technology field to explore. If you don't have an area to exercise your knowledge, how will you benefit from the knowledge that you gain? If people are sacrificing, laying the foundation in these fields, in this area, in these various places, they are tackling these places. We, the young generation, we that are coming after them, We can go to school and acquire the skills and acquire the technologies, those ideas, and at least apply it in this area. But if you want to be, if you want to do agriculture now in Africa, what will you start from? Who will you go to, like, to have all of those knowledge as a person? There are other countries who are doing well. There are other countries who are, surviving on agriculture. But all of Africa should be, an industrialized area. Africa should be one of the industrialized continents on earth, because this is where you find strong people. This is where you find people who have strong resistance. This is where you find people who are very strong, who have that strong power. You know how they fear us out of Africa? They think that we are giants. They think that, we have power, we are like kind of, I don't know how to express it, but they look at us somehow different. Even though they look down on us, but when it comes to, the physical aspect, they think that we are that, strong. That's the fact, because if you are not strong, how will people take you into slavery? They look at what they see in you. They look at your ability to work. So many Africans were taken into slavery. Our ancestors were taken, and they were the one who built all of these places today that you see that we want to go for tourism. That we are so attracted to go on tourism, to go to see their places. What can we, take this little thing that we have, this little place that we have, and make it a decent place for every one of us, for our generation to come? If we keep leaving our area, if we keep leaving our country, we keep leaving our dear continent, who will still there to face it? African. As I'm saying this to you, I have a plan now. Even today, I have a plan. I'm not going to be like those who, going to stay out of their country, all in the name of, I'm making it, I'm fighting it. You can do it everywhere. If the ants, that move on the ground can find food to eat, the birds that flies in the air, they does not sow any seed, it does not plant any food, but at the end of the day, they reap, they harvest. At the end of the day, they survive, they eat, they are looking beautiful. What more about human being with ourselves that were created in the image and likeness of God? What more about us? If the birds in the air can find food, can find their daily bread, what more about us? How did our ancestors survive? How did they manage to innovate those things? When we learn that writing, the first world civilization started from Africa, which is Egypt. The Asian African, they are people with dark skin. They are people like you and I. They are people like us. They are people with our colors. If you check the histories of Egypt, the pharaohs, you see their color. All of the pharaohs painting, they are of dark skin. How did they create? How did they manage to get water out of the ocean, to get water out of the rivers, to drink? Which mechanism were placed in, were put in place? How did they manage to know time? How did they manage to calculate time? Where all this knowledge came from? It's from above. People are innovative if they have means to eat. We have to tackle agriculture. We have to tackle some of the important things. Like where I'm from, we survive on food. We are better driven people. If we can tackle the issue of food, everybody can start to think that I need to invest. You know how many abandoned land we have? You know how many abandoned land we have that we are not investing on, that we are not doing anything with? It's just abandoned. Everybody want to be, in the city. Everybody want to leave the interior. Everybody want to leave the village, and nobody want to start from there. Nobody want to invest there. We know how can this thing happen for us. We have to be figuring out. We have to find a way. We have to find a solution to this problem in Africa. We have to find a solution. We have to be thinking outside the box. We have to be thinking. You can make the difference. I can make the difference. But we have to develop the mindset. Continue listening to Pan-African's leader, Paulo Lumumba, PLO Lumumba. Try to listen to these people. Try to listen to inspiring Africans leader. Don't just look at these series, these movies. These are things that will continue to drive your mind to think that, oh yes, if you leave from where you are, everything going to be okay. But I tell you, no lie, it's not okay. Don't be carried away by those photos that you see people posting online. Don't be carried away by those short videos that people make to show that everything is okay. I shouldn't lie to you. We are going through a lot. People are going through a lot outside. If I'm not going through it, I know definitely I see people every day that are going through a lot. I see people of my age group who probably I could, figure out they were doing something, because how will you, generate the finance to even get on plane to come where you are? Somebody who doesn't have anything cannot. It's not possible that you can able to afford the fare to get on plane and leave your country. Your people or yourself must have something. So no African that is overseas is poor. I will say this: the distance and the cost of ticket fare for an African, like from Africa, there is no cheap flight for African. I check all African nationalities here in the UAE. I check how much they spend on flight, on their ticket fare. It's more than 1,000 plus United States dollars, 2,000, 3,000 United States dollars. Even the nearest country, the country that is close to this country from Africa, they spend close to 1,000 plus, 1,008, 1,005 just for ticket. So no one that is here that made their way here is poor. They had means of survival. They had the means of survival. They had the means to do something. But the expectation that we have is not what you made. I shouldn't lie to you. Forget those that have, that come for study. But those who came with the aim of, working, no one, is seeing what they expected. No one is seeing what they, expected. Those expectations, those huge expectations that you have, you can never lie to me that, it is what you made here when you reach here. You know how many years it takes some people that today you see them posting on social media. They are posting with their family. Some couples are posting. Some people are posting. Do you know how many years it takes for them to even, do those things, to even start to do these things that you see them doing now? If you take that time and develop yourself and change your mind and feel that, oh yes, I can make it here, I can do it here, do you know what will become of you? Do you know where you will be at this point? When I listened to Wedemaya from Ghana, he interviewed with some Africans, I get inspired, I feel happy. I feel that yes, we can do it. It can happen. We can make the difference. I want to encourage you as an African, do not overlook yourself. Do not overlook your country. We can make it. I'm telling you this. I'm going to be in my country soon. And definitely, we are going to change the narrative. We are going to make the difference. The difference must be shown, and now we don't have time. The young generation of Africa need to rise. We need to think that we can be more innovative. We need to think that we can make the difference. We can invest into everything. We can do farming. We can go on the farm. We can struggle. A black man will leave Africa where he had not thought of washing even the toilet that he's using. But when he come abroad, he will be proud to do janitor work. Why? Why should it be this way? You know, one thing about this life, you have to desire something, think about it, believe it, and go for it. That's the mentality. People say that, oh yes, people have the means, people are working, but they don't have. How will you be working and say you are hungry? If everyone is into agriculture, who will be hungry? Who will be looking for food to eat? If you have something in the stomach, then you will have the means to think. Hungry men can never decide. Hungry men can never make a decision. I shouldn't lie to you. The first thing is the stomach. We have to tackle our stomach first. This is something that will give us advantage. When we tackle our stomach, we tackle this area. You know, you have to tackle certain things. You have to go for certain things that are very essential. Number one is food. If you don't get food to eat, how will you survive? We have to look at this. Every person in Africa should own a farm. Every individual in Africa should own a farm. That yes, at least if it is a pepper farm, you can get another person doing so. At least you can share your pepper and get something from another person. You can sell your rice and get something from another person. This is the idea. This is the thing I'm trying to portray. This is the thing I'm trying to display. This is the thing I'm trying to say to you. This is the idea, actually. Everybody don't have to make the same thing. You can get this, I can get this. If I go to the market, if I don't sell this to you, we can exchange. We can still build on that same system. Who told you that everything is over? That barter system that we used to use. Who told you barter system is not existing anymore? Those people who come to our country with papers, you think, how do you call that? They give you paper and take your resources. It's a change. They are exchanging things. We can do the same thing. We can exchange goods and services. If I give you paper, you give me rice. If I give you this, you give me that one. If I give you cocoa, you give me this one. We can still do it. That, was the way we started. That was the way of our ancestors. If this person is making means for cement also, this other person, we can do it. Everybody can develop. I can have food to eat. I can have clothes to wear. I can able to get something. We can able to develop ourselves this way, Africa. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. And I just hope, you take it in and make the difference. We are all young people. All young, just know that it is not too late. Together we stand, divided we fall. Thank you.